Hello students, welcome back to KHC Online Education. Before we start, uh, here is a quick worksheet which you can solve and you can verify your answers as well. Today we are going to start with squaring numbers. So what is squaring? Squaring is defined as multiplying a number by itself. We have already discussed this in our previous classes. Like squaring of 22 is nothing but 22 multiplied with 22 itself. Okay. So in Vedic maths, we are going to discuss two techniques for squaring. So the first method is crisscross system and the second one is by using formulae. So squaring of numbers using crisscross method. Okay. You have already learned the crisscross system of multiplication in your previous classes. So I'm sure you can solve this by yourself. So, firstly we deal with the units digit. 3 times 3 is 9. After that, we crisscross the numbers. So 2 times 3, 2 times 3. So while squaring, you get the same sum, isn't it? Now 6 plus 6 is 12. So you write down 2 and you carry 1. Next, we vertically multiply 2 times 2, which is equal to 4, plus 1, the one that you carried, which is equal to 5. You write down 5. So 529 is the square of 23. So this is how you can use crisscross system of multiplication for squaring numbers. Squaring of numbers using formulae. Okay. There are various formulae used in general mathematics. So the first one that we are going to discuss here in Vedic maths as well. Okay, this is the first one. So it is given by a plus b the whole square is equal to square of first term, square of last term, and twice of a times b. Okay, in Vedic maths, we particularly use this method to square numbers which are near multiples of 10. Okay, near multiples of 10 means near multiples of 10 are numbers like 10, hundreds, 100, 50, 60, and so on, right? So they are all near multiples of 10. So if there are numbers lying nearer to them, for example, if you're supposed to find the square of 105 maybe, okay, then for finding this square, this formula comes very handy. All right. Squaring of numbers using formulae. In this method, a given number is expanded in such a manner that the value of a is a number which can be easily squared and value of b is a small number which too can be easily squared. So usually the value of a is taken as the number. Okay, for example, you have 1009 out here. If you want to break this number into two easy numbers, then it would be 1000 plus 9. So this a is always chosen in such a way that it is a very commonly used number, or it is it is the actual multiple of 10. Okay, so now you know the formula: squaring of first term plus 2 times the first term times the second term, and then the square of second term. So square of 1000, all you need to do is you need to double up the number of zeros. So there were 3 zeros, here we have 6 zeros. Now 2 into 9 is 18,000, right? And 9 square is 81. You sum it up, you get your square. This is one of the best way you can find your square by using this formula. Okay. Similarly, to find the square of 511, we can express 511 as 500 plus 11. Now our first term is 500 and the second one is 11. So square of first term plus 2 times 500 times 11 plus square of 11. Square of 500 is very easy. Square of 5 is 25. 20 becomes 4 zeros. Now 2 into 500 is 1000, so 11,000. And square of 11 is 121. Sum it up, you get your answer. So this is how you can use this particular formula to find the square of numbers. Here they have given you 105. 105 can be written as 100 plus 5, right? After that, you know how to use the formula: square of first term plus 2 times first term times second term plus square of second term. So that's nothing. Square of 100, 2 zeros, 4 zeros. 5 times 2 is 10 times 100 is 1000, and square of 5 is 25. How much do you get? We get 11025. The answer is 11025. So this is how you can use this formula and you can obtain your square. There is a similar formula. The second one is based on negative, or this is basically based on the difference of two numbers. Okay, so whenever you have this negative term in between the two terms, then all you can do is you can square the first term, you have to square the second term as well. The thing, okay, the middle term will just become negative. The only difference is that the middle term carries a negative sign in this particular formula, whereas in the previous one it was positive. Okay, so now you can use this formula to find the square of numbers lying below the multiples of 10. So 995 lies below 1000. So you can write 995 as 1000 minus 5. Now you can use this formula. Square of first term minus 2 into 1000 into 5 plus square of second term, right? Square of 1000, 3 zeros becomes 6 zeros. 2 into 5 is 10. 10 into 1000 is 10,000 and 25. You subtract this value and then add 25, you get your answer. To find the square of 698, 698 can be expressed as 700 minus 2. Now square first term, square second term, and in between you multiply 2 times 700 times 2. Square of 700 is 49. 7 becomes 49 and 2 zeros becomes 4 zeros in square number, right? 2 times 2 is 4 times 7 is 2804. Add it up, you get your answer. So here are a few questions which you can solve, okay? And you can always check your answers yourself as well. Here is the third formula which we are going to learn, okay? Now this formula is based on the difference of square of two terms. Now in algebra, we have already seen this formula where the two terms are being squared and we are supposed to find their difference. Well, in that case, we know a square minus b square is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So we find their sum, we find their difference, and we find the product of the answers, right? Now, if you interpret this formula, you see that now here is the last technique we are going to see, or this is the last formula. It comes from algebra, okay? The formula is a square minus b square is equals to a plus b times a minus b. So basically whenever you have the difference of two square numbers, then you can easily find their sum, find their difference, and find the product of the two answers. Okay, so this is the formula. But if you can interpret this, you see that if a square is left on the right, on the left hand side, and this b square is sent to the other side, you see the formula becomes a square is equals to a plus b times a minus b plus b square. So now we are going to use this particular technique to find the square. All right. Now, how are we supposed to take it? We'll understand that. To find the square of 72, first of all, we are going to consider our a as 72. Okay. In our, what was our formula? Okay, a square is equals to a plus b into a minus b plus b square. So this was the formula. So in this formula, we are going to take our a as 72. We have not yet found out the value of b, or we don't know what b is, okay? So first, if you put the value of a as 72, then in this formula, if you try to substitute the value of a as 72, the equation becomes 72 square is equals to 72 plus b, 72 minus b plus b square, okay? Now you know you cannot solve this equation because b is still present. So now we have to look for some value, for some suitable value of b, so that the whole equation becomes easy to solve. So this is our equation, all right? So now here we have considered the value of b as 2. Why 2? Because once we keep the value of b as 2, what happens? This value becomes easier to solve because 72 minus 2 is 70. Now you know multiplying a number with 70 is easy because of the 0 present out here. 72 plus 2 is 74. 72 minus 2 is 70. And square of 2 is 4. So what did we do? We just randomly chose the value of b. We just try to find out the suitable value according to the number. So here 72 is very close to 70. So we just split 72 into 70 plus, we just split it in the form that we get 70. Okay. So 72 minus 2 is our first term and 72 plus 2. So that way you get 74 times 70, which is equal to 5180 plus 4, 5184. So the square of 72 is 5184. In this example, we have taken the value of b as 2. Because of this, the value of a minus b becomes 70, because of which the multiplication procedure becomes easy as the number 70 ends with 0 and it is easy to solve. Find the square of 53. So here a is 53. Now, if you try to substitute the value of a by 53, we get 53 square is equals to 53 plus b, 53 minus b plus b square. Now, by looking at this formula, I think the b of value should be taken as 3. Because if you take the value of b as 3, the equation becomes easy to solve because you'll get 50 out here. Once you get 50, multiplying with 50 is easier. Okay. That is why when you put the value of b as 3, your equation becomes 53 plus 3, which is equal to 56. 53 minus 3 is 50 and 9. So 56 times 50 is 2800 plus 9 is 2809. So the square of 53 is 2809. To find the square of 94, we will take the value of a as 94. And then now I see that 94 is close to 100. So if I take the value of b as 6, that way I'll get 100. Now multiplying by 100 is even easier. That is why I chose 6 and not 4 out here, okay? So by choosing 6, we get 100 out here, multiplying by 100, and here you get 88. 88 times 100 is 8800 plus 36. You got your answer. So here is a quick worksheet which you can do based on what you have learned in today's class. Okay. Have you heard of a palindrome number? If not, then it is a number that reads the same backwards and forward. Okay. For example, 12421. So if you just try to reverse the digits, you still get the same number. Similarly, if I'll take the example of 1221, right? You'll get the same number if you read it from backward as well. So these kind of numbers are known as palindrome numbers. So that's it for today. I'll see you in the next class with the new technique.